Hey, Shalom. First, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushai, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, that taught us his truth, and blessings to the elect of the nation of Israel, where they be scattered. This is Brother Yakal coming for a very short lesson. Lord willing, it'll be edifying. On today's lesson, it's just about the geopolitics of what's happened recently. I came in, I think, late last night, and I heard that Nicolas Maduro, who is the Venezuelan president, was captured by the American Delta Force. An elected president. They kidnapped him and his wife, and they paraded him, on TV and so forth, and in the last 3 months, what have they been doing? They have been lying, all right, like this serpent always does, saying that they're funneling drugs from speedboats into America. I mean, this is all madness, all right? Okay. Okay, let's look at a map, because the one thing about here at Great Millstone, we're here to bring out the truth of the scriptures, and also we have to match the geopolitics with the scriptures, all right? Now look at a map of where Venezuela is, all right, and the neighboring countries, all right? The most closest neighboring countries is what? Colombia, all right, Guyana, and Brazil, okay? And remember, even if you look here, when you go up to Panama and then you have all these other countries, then you have Mexico, and so forth. America's all the way up there. Look, so they're trying to say that, look, people are having speedboats from Venezuela, bypassing, these Caribbean islands and going all the way up, past Panama, past, what's it called? What's that country called? The tribe of Zebulon are in it. Honduras, that's it. Honduras. What's that other countries? Honduras, El Salvador. All those Central American countries, they're bypassing all those Central American countries. All right, Honduras, El Salvador, where Zebulon is, bypassing Mexico. All right, and then coming and having speedboats of fentanyl and drugs to come into America. I mean, if you believe this, you might as well believe in Pegasus and the flying horse. This man's a liar, all right? And Apostle Boss always said that what is bringing this wicked empire down is the Heavenly Father, obviously, and he's going to send his son to do it. But truth, we're in the time of truth, all right? So I'm going to play this clip because, this man is a deceiver. He's just doing his job. And their main aim is the oil. Remember the prophecy of the tribe of Asher, because if you look at Venezuela, the Indians of Venezuela, the Indianos of Venezuela, they're Israelites from the tribe of Asher. And remember, if you go to Deuteronomy 33, all right, Genesis, you got Genesis 49, where Jacob says what's going to happen to him in the last days. And then if you go to Deuteronomy 33, these are all the blessings, Moses gave all the tribes, all right? And the tribe of Asher, which many of them are in Venezuela, what was their blessing? All right, let's get that. Deuteronomy 33 and 24, and I'll split it. So on this side is KJV and on that side is the NLT, but this is quite self-explanatory. Deuteronomy 33 and 24. And of Asher he said, let Asher be blessed with children. And if you look at that over there in Venezuela and other countries where Asher is, all right, like Bolivia and so forth, they have a lot of children. All right, let him be acceptable to his brethren, and this is the main point, and let him dip his foot in oil. All right, and Venezuela, all right, let's ask Google, all right, let's say, who has the world's largest reserves? Let's see what Google comes up with. Who has the largest oil reserves? Alright, this is Google AI. As of 2026, Venezuela, alright, holds the world's largest proven oil reserves, which approximately, alright, 303 billion barrels. This accounts for nearly 19 and 18% of the total global supply. There you go. So they have the biggest oil reserves. Now you may be asking, alright, if they've got the biggest oil reserves, then how come that people are poor there and people are leaving to try and go into America? You know, Donald Trump has shut that down. Well, some of it's been corruption, yes, but a lot of it has been sanctions by America. Alright, so certain things like equipment and other things, they have problems with to extract that oil. Alright, so bear that in mind. This was a blessing that they got from the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Okay, now let's look at the news and listen to this clip, alright, about the operation in Venezuela. As I said, it's going to be a short video. You know, one more scripture and I'll bring it to a close. Alright, let's go.
They're just, so Chicago Ray, they're just making up any excuse that people can glom onto to be behind another BS regime change war. That's what this is. Okay, just so you know. So J.D. Vance, remember when he said killing cartel members who poison our fellow citizens is the highest and best use of our military? Killing the citizens of another nation who are civilians without any due process, that's called a war crime.
Give me 20 days.
So you hear that? All right, let's continue. Let's continue.
And haven't exercised in years.
I don't give a S what you call it, says J.D. Vance. Wow. J.D. Vance sounding very IDF these days. While the mainstream says IDGAF, if you know what that means. I don't give a F. That's what that means. Okay. Rand Paul says, JD, I don't give a crap. Vance says killing people he accuses of a crime is the highest and best use of our military. Did he ever read To Kill a Mockingbird? Did he ever wonder what might happen if the accused were immediately executed without trial or representation? What a despicable and thoughtless sentiment it is to glorify killing someone without a trial. He's right about that. Rand Paul happens to be right about that. I think the highest use of our military is blowing up Venezuelan fishing boats to justify a land invasion. That's what I think. So let's just remember, this is the United States military bases. Okay?
Not enough.
This is the United States military bases, and just remember what this has always been about. Look at that. Did you realize we have that many military bases in Central and South America? Did you know this? Look at that. So, and let's remember, so the real reason Venezuela is happening is for natural resources and Israel. And you think I'm kidding? This is Laura Richardson. She's a general. And let's listen to what she's going to talk about, why the United States needs to be in control of South and Central America.
If I talk to my number two adversary.
First, I'm pausing it because this clip, right, that you're going to see, this was done way before this operation. All right, so if you're watching, this wasn't done after the fact. This was done, this interview with this so-called general, this woman general, was done way before this operation. All right, keep listening.
In the region, Russia. I mean, I've got, of course, the countries, Cuba, Venezuela, and Nicaragua with Russia relationships, but Why this region matters? With all of its rich resources and rare earth elements.
Huh?
You've got the lithium triangle, which...
Huh? What? How come J.D. Vance and Trump and Hegseth never mention this? They never mention all the resources they have. The general knows. She knows what the game is. It's all the natural resources. The first one she lists is lithium.
Is needed for technology today. 60% of the world's lithium is in the lithium triangle, Argentina, Bolivia, Chile. You just have the largest oil reserves, light sweet crude, discovered off of Guyana over a year ago.
Venezuela has more oil than Saudi Arabia.
You have Venezuela's resources as well with oil, copper, gold. We have the Amazon, lungs of the world. We have the 31% of the world's fresh water in this region too. I mean, it's just off the charts. We have a lot to do. This region matters. It has a lot to do with national security, and we need to step up our game.
We need to step up our game. And so if you really want to know, who was importing the drugs from Venezuela, could it be our CIA? Could it be our CIA? Could it be?
A ton of cocaine, pure cocaine worth hundreds of millions, is smuggled into the United States. Sound familiar? Not the way this ton of cocaine got here. According to what the former head of the Drug Enforcement Administration told Mike Wallace, this drug shipment got here courtesy of what he calls drug trafficking by the CIA in partnership with the Venezuelan National Guard. While rumors of CIA involvement in drug trafficking have circulated for years, no one in the U.S. government has ever before publicly charged the CIA with this kind of wrongdoing. And it's not the kind of accusation anyone in government would make without thinking long and hard.
Let me understand what you're saying. A ton of cocaine was smuggled into the United States of America by the Venezuelan National Guard?
Well,
In cooperation with the CIA?
that's exactly what appears to have happened.
So, Chicago Ray, I love you. I'm just trying to give you the another point of view on this. Don't fall for the propaganda. And who's their number one opposition? Really? It's the civilian population of America, probably.
You see, so you hear what that guy said, and this documentary that he's showing on the left about National Guard members in Venezuela being helping the CIA smuggle cocaine into America. Okay, this video was very old. This is like 10 plus years old. You can just look at the visuals and see it. All right, what this what's it called? This Trump and other guy Rubio and J.D. Vance have been saying is that they are smuggling what's it called, fentanyl in from Venezuela. Do you really believe that that's happening? Do you really believe that, man? No, fentanyl's mainly coming, a lot of experts say from Mexico. So they're making up an excuse. And if they've been in the past working with corrupt National Guardsmen in the Venezuelan National Guard, then that must be a reason why this operation went so easily. They have assets on the ground. America and Israel do that. Look at the war with Iran that happened, the back and forth. They killed Hamas members that were visiting Iran. How did they know? They did the same in Lebanon. All right, with what's it called? Hezbollah, their leader Nasrallah. There's always people that are gonna take money, okay, and be corrupt for their own gain. That's one of the reasons why this operation had its so-called success. Okay, but what is the main thing? Resources, as it said.
Recent reports state that 60% of lithium is being prescribed to Manhattan residents, keeping them from collectively jumping off the Brooklyn Bridge right now. I like how they say light, sweet, crude. They even describe it like it's a fine wine. Pairs well with military obliterating farmers. That's what I say. Kind of weird how many innocent nations need to be taken over by our nation for our nation to feel secure, isn't it? All I can say is you better not be another nation wherever it is that you are. You better be America by the time we get there. So, Marjorie Taylor Greene letting you know, and so is Rand Paul. So that's just a little something you need to know about. Now you know why Marjorie Taylor Greene's on the way out. You can't tell the truth about that stuff and still be in the Trump good graces. You can't, or be in the GOP apparently.
See, there you go. So this is nothing to do with drug trafficking and all that stuff. You know, he's just doing what the Bible said he would do, man. All right. That's this the characteristics of this dragon, this serpent, this devil. Means deceiver. The word devil means deceiver. That's his job, man. All right. So this is just to update you on what's going on, man. You know, Lord willing, in a week I'll do a more in-depth one because there's more information coming out. All right. You know, let's go to Habakkuk chapter 2 and 5 and give it to close. All right. Habakkuk 2 and 5. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine his doctrines, like one of his doctrines. Oh, this is for national security. You heard what that woman said. She said, the lithium triangle is an amazing place. You know, they've got this, they've got that, they've got this, they've got that. All these resources that they need for this this beast system, you know, Palantir and so forth. You know, that's why even in the computing world, prices of RAM are skyrocketing because of AI. All right. So because he also transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. Venezuela is not their home. And it's kidnapping. See? Who enlargeth his desire as hell. Hell, man. And hell is on earth. All right. And in that operation, they killed many Venezuelan people, and many houses were bombed. And that country is on its knees. So his desire as hell and is as death. And how many people died? Because the Cubans had military soldiers guarding Maduro, and many of them were put to death. All right. And cannot be satisfied. You heard that, woman. So this is the characteristics of Esau, the so-called white man, and his power structure. All right. But gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. All right. You see? Okay, but we know what's going to happen. All right. This is not going to continue. All right. For much longer. All right. The nations are going to be angry. That's why we're going to go into this third world war. So I just wanted to do a short video. All right. And we can even go to, actually, we can go to verse 6, actually. All right. We can actually go to, no, actually, if you look at Habakkuk 2 and 5, right? That was in the KJV. Look at here what it says in the NLT. All right. Habakkuk 2 and 5. Wealth is treacherous, and the arrogant are never at rest. See, they're never at rest. And they use their apparatus, which is their media, all right, to try and convince people. But people are not convinced on this one because we've seen it all before. They open their mouths as wide as the grave, and like death, they are never satisfied. In their greed, they have gathered up many nations. You know, a nation is sort of what? Nationalities. And has swallowed many peoples. And they're doing that with our people because why? All right, that land is full of rich resources. Remember, the tribe of Asher is there, and the Lord said they would dip their foot in oil. So it's all prophecy. All right, so I just wanted to update on that. And Lord willing, in the week, Lord willing, I'll do a more in-depth one. See what happens in a couple of days with this story. All right, so stay alert, Akim. To the next lesson, Shalom.